Next up at UFC Atlantic City, we have a rematch. A rematch several years in the making. We have Ibo Aslan taking on Anton the Pleasure Man Turkalj. Insane nickname. Ibo Aslan, 12-1 overall. He is 4-1 in his last 5. He is riding a 4-fight win streak, and that one and only loss is to the Pleasure Man. The Pleasure Man's 8-3 overall, 2-3 in his last 5 on a very unfortunate 3-fight skid. And this is an interesting fight. I'll tell you right now, I have a bet on Ibo Aslan, which is an interesting position to be in because he fought this fight already and he lost. But I do think things have changed. Ibo Aslan's a heavy-handed striker. He can knock you out with half power. Just little short shots, he can put you out for sure. He's a bit wide. He is a little sloppy, but it doesn't matter. He has so much power, and he's got plenty of it in both of his hands and both of his feet. He's not looking to wrestle, but he will sneak in a takedown or two. He'll sneak in a body lock. He will work fights to the ground if he has to. He has cardio issues. That is why he lost this last fight. So I am worried about the cardio, but outside of that, he's got all the power in the world. He will come forward. He'll wrestle. He'll strike. He'll do all the things. He's taking on Anton Turkalj, as I mentioned, in a rematch. Anton's a fun, athletic guy. He'll mix things up on his feet. He has no problems taking risks. He has incredible diverse striking style where he will spin, he'll kick, he'll charge forward. He will mix it all together really, really well. And not only is his striking fun, but it's aggressive. He's shooting takedowns. He's swinging wild. His nickname's the Pleasure Man. Your brain does wild stuff with that, but maybe it's Pleasure Man because he just takes pleasure in trying to enjoy us. Because when he goes out there and tries to win these fights, he's putting on a show.
I think the guy likes to fuck.
I mean, that could be. Doesn't he have an OnlyFans? Isn't that literally what it is?
He's got an OnlyFans.
Okay.
I'm trying to collab with him.
I've been asking Jacob for years to do an OnlyFans review, and he's refusing to.
I
But either
have
way,
an OnlyFans of my own. You can review this cock if you want.
Sure. What's the link?
OnlyFans.com/the freckled salamander. You act like it's not real, but it's real. Oh!
Jesus, dude, we can't keep doing that.
It's topical.
Okay, well then don't yell when I'm in the middle of the breakdown. I'm picking Ibo here. It's a rematch from 2020. I think, let's put it this way. Anton won that fight. He won that fight because Ibo slowed down. Ibo beat his ass and then slowed down, and that's where Anton snuck in that choke. Ibo got tired and sloppy. Very simply, if you look at what's happened since then. Yes, Anton has fought a higher level of competition than Ibo, but he's gotten his ass kicked. Ibo went on to knock a whole bunch of people out. And yes, they're not UFC caliber people, but I think a lesson was learned there. He was a young, undefeated guy, got exposed when he didn't get an early finish. I think he went back, made the adjustments, will have cardio, because if he had 2 minutes more cardio, he wins that fight. Since then, Anton's been knocked out. His chin is even weaker than it was then. Ibo winning by knockout. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Sorry. It's so funny. I went on Instagram and Amanda has a post up. She posted 33 minutes ago, so I was just looking at the fucking Instagram post. But yeah, I know that these guys have fought, and I know that Anton won by submission, and it was kind of that summed up. You know, he was taking a beating. Ibo kind of death gassed, but when he was a fucking nail instead of a hammer, dude, it took about 10 seconds of him being a nail to fucking give up in that fight. And when I watched that fight, and then I watch these fighters these days, I think that Anton's improved. He doesn't look like that fighter at all. If you watched Ibo fight in his Contender Series fight and you watch that first fight, you'd be like, oh, that looks like the same fighter. Obviously a little bit more refined, but he wants to kind of just plot forward and throw the big strikes. He's not crazy technical while he does it. When you watch Anton in that first fight, it looked like he didn't really know what striking was. I mean, and obviously he's coming off the knockouts, but he's fought some like crazy good people, and people are going to shit on, the Tyson Page or whatever, but he's still a good striker. Tyson Page is a good striker. But I think that Anton's has improved so much in the striking that he's going to be able to go in and out with that footwork and then mix in the wrestling too. I mean, you saw in a fight earlier in his career, I mean, was it 6 or 7 takedowns, something like that? I just think that he's gotten better since that fight. He found a way to win that first fight, and I like him in this matchup. I think he's going to weather the early storm, have the better gas tank, because even in that Vitor fight, where he was having like, he was getting beat on a little bit, whatever. I mean, he hung tough. I mean, he was in that fight. He was still trying to work in that fight. So, I like Anton here. You know, he won the first one. I think he can do the same thing. Weather the storm, get it to the ground, and find a way to dog this guy. Because Ibo showed when he's not in charge, he's not a happy camper.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I knew that this line would move a little bit. I got my bet on him at -115. It's only moved to -125. And he opened at -180. So the line tightened immediately. And I think most people just saw this is a rematch. He already lost this fight. So the line tightened. And then now I think it's working its way back out. I don't think he'll get all the way up to -180 again, but I think people will watch it, see their recent records, see that Anton's chin is starting to give out on him, and that Ibo power, I think, is going to be the difference. Jake and Briar split on this one as well. And I do think if you're building a DraftKings fantasy lineup, you might need exposure to both of them. You're building several lineups. Exposure to both of them could make sense because whoever wins this fight is going to win by finish. Ibo's going to knock this dude out, or he's going to gas again, and something's going to happen there. But you agree with that statement, Jacobolo?
Yep.
Okay.
Last pack.
If you want to unlock the picks, the bets, the round line leans, and more, only $10 a month at WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member at the top. We do have a super chat, $5 from Bookie Bully. And he's talking about the signed Khabib Nurmagomedov card that you pulled. He said, dog, that card is over $500. That is a crazy pull. Holy shit.
That's one of the best ones we could have pulled, I imagine.
I mean, who else? John Joe.
Thank God I started opening these
Evan
cards.
Tanner autograph?
Angelo's such a hater. Don't open your cards. They're trying to. It's a sign not to open the cards.
It's just so distracting.
You don't know my God like I know my God, Angelo.
If I say,
what a great God we have.
If the card opening annoys you, please comment after this video. We're going to get no less than 50 comments from
You
people
said that
saying
last
the card
time. Nobody said shit.
They all said it sucked. And I didn't say comment after. I said comment during. All right. Why don't we put up a poll? Put up a poll. Oh, good. More gasp sounds in the middle of breakdowns. That's fun.
We're not in the middle of a breakdown.
Before you go, let me give you $50. Anybody who goes to WeWantPicks.com/bets and signs up with any one of our affiliate partners gets $50 as a thank you. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. We send you $50 as a thank you.